Hi, it's Christina from the Sisyphean Journal. Today's rant from my kitchen is a response to AD's response to Phil Vischer's video on abortion. And I'm just going to address a little bit of it. I actually stopped 6 minutes in to address this. And, Vischer was talking about reducing abortion. And AD is like, we don't want to reduce abortion, we want to ban it. Well, banning it doesn't get rid of it. Now, it reduces it, yes, but you have to get through your head that banning it is one tool in your abortion reduction toolbox. And there are far better tools that we can put into effect right now. Now, don't get me wrong, I am all for banning abortion. I'd ban them all tomorrow if I could. But at the same time, we have to address the fact that there are some people who they've got this idea that abortion is a helpful thing, that abortion is a necessary thing, that abortion helps women to live their best lives. And as long as they have that mindset, a ban is going to make it trickier for them and make it more cumbersome for them. And it also gives the woman more time to change their minds. One of the reasons abortion rights groups talks about, oh, we want early abortion, early abortion, early abortion, early abortion, is because every day that you're delaying that abortion is a day that she might change her mind. Because studies have shown, they don't study this very much after abortion, that the more time passes, the more likely the woman is to start to bond with her baby. And once she bonds with that baby, it takes a hell of a lot to get her onto that abortion table. A lot more than just, oh, your boyfriend might leave you. Well, once she bonds with the baby, it's like, well, he's useless. Good riddance to bad rubbish. If he's going to leave me because I won't kill the baby, good riddance to bad rubbish. He can go. So the real issue here, if you look at what happens when women go in to pro-life pregnancy centers versus if they go into abortion clinics. If they go into an abortion clinic, the pregnancy is the identified problem, and everything else that's happening in the woman's life, just it gets charted as a reason for the abortion, but it doesn't get addressed because it's not the presenting problem. The presenting problem is she's pregnant, kill the fetus, we're good. And I've talked about how once she's out the door, they completely lose interest in her because their idea is the presenting problem is that a fetus exists in her uterus. Get rid of it, she's fine. Now, when the woman goes to the pro-life center, the pregnancy is more like the catalyst that highlights the presenting problem or problems. Now, is she in an abusive relationship? Does she not have an awareness of resources that are available to her? Is she lacking resources? So if a woman goes into an abortion clinic because her mortgage is in arrears and she's going to get foreclosed and she's going to wind up homeless, they'll just take her money, do the abortion, send her out, and let her be homeless. The pro-life center will say, okay, what do we do to get your mortgage out of arrears? And we've had a fundraiser. I'm sure there's been more to get the money, to get the woman's mortgage out of arrears, get her back bills caught up, get her financially stable, and get her hooked up with some financial counseling so she never winds up in that situation again. So if you look at which side's helping the woman live her best life, it's the pro-lifers. And in the 1955 conference on abortion in America that Planned Parenthood held, they looked at European models, which they only allowed abortions for about up to 12 weeks, and the woman did have to go through counseling first. And Calderon wrote that once the woman has a chance to talk through her problems with somebody who's sympathetic and lets her know that there are resources available, she'll spontaneously change her mind a lot of the time. And that's what pro-life pregnancy centers are doing. Pro-choicers have known since 1955, at least, that this is the case. You give her a chance to talk it through. You let her know that resources are available. You let her know that she'll have support to access those resources, and we're good. So what you do is you get an idea that David Reardon and Feminists for Life first floated in the 1980s, which was a Right to Redress Act. Now, the version that David Reardon and Feminists for Life came up with was very cumbersome. It was you have to have this clearinghouse of what information was available at the time, yada, yada, yada. Just make it simple. If after the abortion she regrets it, she can sue for the wrongful death of her baby, and unless the clinic/abortionist, whoever made money off of this abortion, can show that she did have adequate informed consent. The key word there being adequate. If the informed consent wasn't adequate, she's got a case for wrongful death of her baby. You hit that abortion clinic on the thing that they care about, which they're a business. They need to keep their business afloat. And you can't do that if every single woman who regrets it can sue because you didn't let her hear the fetal heartbeat. You didn't let her see the ultrasound. You didn't tell her that there are treatments available for hyperemesis gravidarum. You didn't tell her that the latest research shows that abortion does not increase her chances of surviving breast cancer and that the cancer treatments for her breast cancer won't harm the baby. Okay? There's all this information that the woman actually needs. And something like 80% of abortion-minded women who go to pregnancy centers change their minds. And it's not because the pregnancy centers lock them in the basement and keep them there until they give birth. It's because they have that mindset of, okay, the presenting problem is what's going on in the woman's life that's making abortion seem necessary to her at this point. So if the standard is you need to show her that you gave her the information she needed, she regrets the abortion later and she comes in, and we'll take Ashley McCall as an example. She aborted a wanted pregnancy because she had hyperemesis gravidarum, which is just excessive vomiting during pregnancy, where she had lost 15% of her body weight. She was dehydrated. She was hallucinating. She had tried to get help, and everybody was telling her, well, this must mean that you don't really want the baby. It's all in your head. And she said, I'll just go get an abortion. And they're like, good, call us when you get back. She was using abortion as a threat and a way to show how serious she was about how sick she was. The doctors abandoned her. She gets to the abortion clinic. She's crying. They're saying, you can always have another baby later. She goes, but I want this one. What else can I do? And they're like, would you stick out your arm so we can put the IV in? It totally provided no help. And it wasn't until after the abortion that she found out other treatments were available. Under a right to redress law, Ashley could sue for the wrongful death of her baby because they did not refer her for the care that she actually wanted. And that's what this needs to get down to, providing the woman with what she actually wants. So there's two aspects to informed consent. One is that she needs to be aware of what it is that she's going to have destroyed and how that's going to be done. Okay? Because, the abortion clinics will call, oh, that's mean because it makes her feel guilty. Well, if she's going to feel guilty about it, you want to tell her that before she makes this decision and then has to live with it the rest of her life. If finding out that her baby with arms and legs and brain waves was dismembered alive is going to crush her emotionally, she needs to know that before she signs the paperwork to do that, and it's too late for her to take it back. So this idea that, oh, this information will make her feel guilty. If it will make her feel guilty, she needs to know it first, and she needs to say, yes, I know I'm going to be racked with guilt the rest of my life, but snuff that fetus. It needs to be the twofold thing. She needs to be fully aware of what she's going to have destroyed and how, and she needs to know what resources are available to her to live the life she wants to live. Oh, I can't have this baby. I won't be able to finish college. We can help get you set up with childcare. This university actually has on-campus daycare. Would you like us to hook you up with the nurturing network? If she finds out after the abortion that there were resources that they did not make available to her that they did not say, we'll give you a referral for this, or here's some information about that. She can sue for the wrongful death of her baby. If they want to say that she had proper informed consent, they have to say, well, look, we told her about the nurturing network. She said not interested. We told her about the doctor in town who treats hyperemesis gravidarum. She wasn't interested. You need to go through that checklist and say, we discussed this, we discussed this, we discussed this, and she signed off not interested. Let the abortion clinics figure out how to do it, and they cannot stay open. If they can't lie, if they can't withhold information, they go under. It's as simple as that. And that is how you reduce abortion to the bare minimum of women who know it's a baby, know that they have other resources, and still want that baby dead. And they are going to have abortions whether it's legal or not. And that's the most we can reduce it. The most we can reduce it to is women who hate the baby, want it dead, don't want any other resources, and would go ahead and get the abortion, legal or illegal. And you're not going to get that with a ban. You're going to get that if that abortionist stands to lose his shirt if he withholds information and does abortion on any woman other than one who wants it, wants that baby dead, and knows that it's totally unnecessary. So that's it. That's what you need to do to reduce abortion. Banning helps, but I think you'd actually achieve more if you required legitimate, real, informed consent.